lovely chicken masala recipe. Now here I have 200 grams of chicken. You can use chicken on the bone. I'm using boneless chicken breast cut up into cubes. To that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, some salt to taste. I'll leave a recipe of how I make the ginger garlic paste at home. It's super simple. And I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of yogurt or dahi. I've just beaten up the yogurt with a spoon. Now I'll leave a recipe of how I make my curd or dahi at home. It's super simple. I never buy dahi or curd from outside. It's really, really easy. Now we're going to mix everything really well. And we're going to set this aside for at least 30 minutes minimum. You can set it for a longer time also. And now here I have one medium-sized tomato that I've just chopped roughly. I also have some 10 to 15 cashew nuts and about 1/4 cup of fresh coriander leaves that I've washed really well. Now we're going to add this to a mixer jar, and I'm going to grind this to a very smooth paste. Now you don't need to add any water because the tomato serves as the makes it into a nice fine paste like this. This is what we're looking for. Now I'm going to add the paste to a bowl, and then I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of water to my mixer jar, and we're going to use this masala water. Now for the other ingredients, here I have one medium-sized onion chopped fine, 2 teaspoons of homemade ginger garlic paste. You can use the ready-made one also. Half a teaspoon of cumin powder. 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. This is also homemade, as well as the powders are also ground at home. I'll leave recipes for all of that. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder or dhania. And this is 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. Now here I've heated up my pan and I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil to the pan. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add the onion and I'm going to fry the onion till it's nice and translucent. Then I'm going to add the ginger garlic paste and I'm going to fry the onions and the ginger garlic really well for a whole minute. Now I'm going to add our ground paste and I'm going to fry all these 3 ingredients really well for at least another 2 minutes. We have to get this bagar really nice because that will, elevate the flavor of the dish, and that will really make this dish taste amazing. So take your time with this and, really fry the masala. Now I'm going to add the cumin powder, the coriander powder, and the red chili powder. We won't add the garam masala at this point. And now we're going to mix everything well, and now you got to fry this for a whole 5 minutes, stirring continuously on a low to medium flame, because we want all of this to really, it has to look like this. It turns into a darker color, as well as you will see that there's some oil oozing out of this mixture. That's because we've added the cashew nuts. Cashew nuts also do tend to ooze out oil. And now is the time to add your garam masala. And now again, we're going to mix everything really nicely together. We want all the ingredients to really, come together really nicely to make this dish taste amazing. And now I'm going to add my marinated chicken. Like I said, you can use chicken on the bone, but I like using lean chicken. And I'm going to mix everything really, really well. We want all of this bagar to really coat the chicken very nicely. So take your time, mix everything well. Use a large pan or a large vessel or a large, a dish. And now I'm going to add the masala water. We don't need to add a lot of water because even the chicken oozes out some water. And we don't want this to be a very runny curry kind of a dish. It's more on the semi-dry side. And now again, mix everything. And now we're going to cook this on a low flame for 10 minutes. And you're going to keep stirring in between. Now after 10 minutes, again, you're going to mix everything really nicely. You'll see how much of water has come out from the, the chicken, the onions. And now for the color, I'm going to add 2 to 3 teaspoons of this Kashmiri red chili powder. So this doesn't make the dish spicy. It just adds a beautiful color. I love adding Kashmiri chili powder to most of my, chicken recipes because it really makes it look so nice. And, we eat with our eyes too because our food has to look appetizing. that's when you really want to dig in and eat it. So Kashmiri chili powder is good. So now you can see after cooking it for a long time, it looks so amazing. But now I'm going to cover and cook it on a very low flame for another 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, you'll see that everything has come together so well. We just need to add 2 more ingredients and we are done. So look at the dish. It is so amazing. Everything has come together so well. I've just chopped up some coriander leaves just for garnishing it, and then I'm going to put the flame off, and then I'm going to add the juice of half a lemon. So now you don't, I don't know where I learned this from, but they always say that don't add lemon juice when the heat is on. You always got to put the heat off and add the lemon juice, and then you're all ready to serve it. It's so amazing. This chicken chili fry. So I'm going to start by just taking one medium-sized potato. I've peeled it and I've sliced it into thin wedges, and I'm just going to shallow fry them till they turn a nice golden brown. So once they are golden brown, just transfer them to a plate. Now in the same oil in the pan, we are going to fry about 1 inch of ginger, which I've grated, and about 5 small cloves of garlic, which I've just finely chopped up. Now to this mixture, I'm going to be adding 1 light green chili, which I've chopped very fine. And we're going to saute everything till everything gets nice and fried on a low to medium flame. Now I'm also going to be adding 1 medium-sized onion that I've chopped fine. Saute everything till the onion also becomes nice and translucent. Now we are going to add some boneless chicken breast, which I've cut into small cubes, and we're going to fry the chicken till the chicken gets nice and cooked. Now I'm going to be adding about 1 tablespoon of coriander powder or dhania powder, as well as we're going to add about 1 teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder. Now I have a recipe for making this homemade cumin powder, coriander powder and pepper powder at home. I'll leave a link below. Now I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. We're going to mix everything well together. Now I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of pepper powder and half a teaspoon of garam masala. I have a recipe for my homemade garam masala. I will leave a link for that too. So once you add all these lovely ground spices, we're going to mix up everything well together. Now I've also added the potatoes at this point, and now I'm going to add some salt to taste. So mix everything nicely. And then I am going to just add some coriander, which I've chopped very fine as a garnish. And your chicken chili fry is all ready. So this goes really well with some chapati or roti or pav. You can make a small little sandwich with recipe. Now I've just taken regular chicken sausages and I've just chopped them into fine pieces. This is 1 medium onion sliced fine, 1 capsicum sliced fine. This is a paste of ginger and garlic, about 4 cloves of garlic and 1 inch of ginger. This is 1 light green chili chopped fine and some coriander chopped fine. This is some turmeric powder, some coriander powder and some pepper powder. All ingredients with their measurements will be given in the description box below. Now I'm going to heat about 1 tablespoon of oil and I'm going to fry my sausages well. And once my sausages are nice and fried, I'm going to take them up and keep them in a bowl aside. And then we're going to continue with the recipe. So here my sausages have nicely got fried. And in the same oil, I'm going to now add my other ingredients. I'm going to start by frying my light green chili very well. Once the chili is nice and fried, next we'll go in my ginger garlic paste. Fry that well too. Next is going to go my capsicum. I've just used one small green capsicum or bell pepper and chopped it really fine. Next goes in my one medium-sized onion chopped fine. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder, 2 teaspoons of coriander or dhania powder, and half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. We're going to mix everything really well together. Now I'm going to add my fried sausages back into the mix. Give everything a good mix. Then I'm going to flavor it with some salt to taste. Now you could add tomatoes if you like tomatoes, but we don't really like tomatoes in this, so I don't add it, but you can. And just a little bit of Kashmiri red chili powder to give it a nice color. That's totally optional. Just about 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. Add your chopped up coriander or cilantro. Give everything a good mix. And then I'm just going to cover it and cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes till everything nicely comes together. And that's it, friends. Your sausage chili fry is all ready. You can have this stuffed into some pav. You can have it with rice and dal, or you can have it with some chapatis or puris. These are all the ingredients that we require. So let's go through each of them. Here is 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of peppercorns, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds or dhania seeds, half a tablespoon of cumin seeds or jeera, 5 pods of elaichi or cardamom, half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini, 6 cloves or lavang, 1 star anise, 1 mace or javitri, 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds or khaskhas, 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds or methi seeds, 1 teaspoon of shaha jeera or black cumin seeds, 1 tablespoon of fennel seeds or sauf, 2 bay leaves or tej patta, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg powder or zaifar. You can just grate it on a small grater. 6 cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, and about 6 red chilies. You can even use the Goan red chilies. 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder, half a teaspoon of garam masala, and half a teaspoon of red chili powder. Or you can increase it according to your taste. So these are all the spices that we require. You can even roast them and grind them and keep them aside the day before you plan to make it. Then we require 1 medium onion sliced. We also require 1 small onion diced, 2 light green chilies slit, 1 cup of fresh coconut grated. We also require half a cup of coconut milk and a lime-sized bowl of tamarind soaked in some hot water. And I'm going to be using about 350 grams of chicken. You can make this with beef, with mutton. And like I said, half a cup of coconut milk. So now let's begin with making this amazing xacuti. So in a pan, I've just heated up the pan a bit and I'm going to roast all my dry spices in it. That is the peppercorns, the javitri, the star anise, the poppy seeds, the cardamom, cinnamon, bay leaves. So we're going to roast this on a low to medium flame, and we're going to roast this for just about 5 minutes, and you will get a lovely aroma of these dry spices. Keep stirring, don't leave them unattended. And then once they have cooled to room temperature, grind them to a very, very fine powder. Now in the same pan, I'm going to add just half a teaspoon of oil and I'm going to fry the ginger, the garlic and the dried red chilies. We're also going to add the medium-sized onion which we've just sliced. So fry all of this well in a little bit of oil till the onions turn to a lovely golden brown color. Now the frying of all these spices and roasting of the spices is a very key element in getting the right flavor for this xacuti. So fry it well. Now this is the fine powder. You have to make it into a very fine powder. Now, like I said, you can also use the Goan chilies that you get. Now I've transferred the fine powder to a bowl. Now once this onion, ginger, garlic and red chilies also come to room temperature, we're going to grind it to a very fine paste. Now I'm going to add another half teaspoon of oil and I'm going to fry the freshly grated coconut. So we're going to fry this till the coconut is nice and golden brown in color. Now I had soaked some tamarind in some hot water for about 5 to 10 minutes. And now we're just going to extract all the juice from the tamarind by just squeezing the tamarind this way. We're going to continue roasting or frying rather our freshly grated coconut. And I'm going to add this ground spice powder to this onion, red chili, ginger, garlic paste and again grind all of them together to a very, very smooth paste. Now I also have some coconut milk. And that is the paste and that is the reserve water. That is once you take out the masala or the paste, you can just put some water in the mixer pot and wash it off. That is our reserve water. Now once our coconut has nicely cooled down to room temperature, we're going to grind it to a fine paste by adding very little water. So this is our paste. And now we're going to mix all three of them. That is, the coconut that we've ground to our other ground space. That is our xacuti masala ready. Now in a pan, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil and fry the small onion, which I've sliced. So like I said, that was the xacuti masala. So you can prepare it ahead of time and store it in your refrigerator and make this xacuti whenever you feel like. So this is I'm adding the slit green chilies. I'm also going to be adding this mixture of garam masala, haldi powder and red chili powder. And now we're going to add our xacuti masala. Now the most important thing is frying this masala very well, because we really want this flavor to, the real flavor of this masala to come out. So you have to fry this on a low to medium flame for at least 5 minutes. That's very key. So after frying this well, now we're going to add our chicken. And I'm going to fry the chicken in this masala also for at least another 5 minutes. So you come to know that the chicken is, nice and fried, because first it's a pink color, and as you keep frying it with the masala, you'll see that it changes to a white. And this is also very key to this recipe, that is when you fry the chicken well with the masala, it really, gets into the chicken and you can really taste the flavor of the masala. Now, after frying it well, I'm adding the reserve water. You can add, water as per your choice if you wanted a thinner gravy or a thicker gravy. Now I'm just adding some salt to taste and a little bit of sugar, a pinch of sugar. Mix everything together and I'm going to cover and simmer this for at least 5 to 10 minutes. So we want to simmer this well so it gets cooked well. Now after simmering it for about 5 to 10 minutes, you can see the lovely color of this masala and everything, and the entire home just is filled with this aroma of Xacuti. So now I'm just going to be adding this coconut milk. Now I will leave the instructions of how I extracted this coconut milk in my description box below. Now there are two ways. One is that you take half a cup of grated coconut, fresh coconut, you grind it in your mixer, you keep adding a little bit of lukewarm water and you start extracting the juice by squeezing out the juice. Now adding the tamarind juice to this to the curry. So like I said, you can extract that way. And another shortcut method is, okay, I'm adding a little chopped coriander and mixing it in well. The other shortcut method is you get this coconut milk powder, ready-made powder. So you just take some hot water, you add about 4-5 tablespoons of this coconut milk powder into it. You just stir it all together and your coconut milk is ready. So if you don't have the time to make it, the coconut milk, you can just use the shortcut method. And that's it, friends. After simmering it for another 5 to 7 minutes, our delicious Goan Xacuti is all ready. This is my mom.